Welcome to the Love Creates Love mini podcast with me, Gail Berry. So, I was wondering whether to create this as a podcast or a video because it is very, very important and special. So, I was recently talking to one of my clients who I'm mentoring. She is a new mum. She had an extremely traumatic birth. And since having her baby, she just hasn't been able to find herself. She has been lost. And there's a lot of grief for her old life. There's a lot of gratitude for her baby, but there's a lot of confusion and chaos. And she feels like she's just being blown around in the wind. So we had this coaching call together. And I really felt intuitively when I tuned into her energy that she was just grieving her old self. And it was almost like she had broken up with her old self. She had this relationship with her old version of her. And she was still hanging on, and she was still kind of comparing, well, when I was with that version of me, this happened. And now that version of me is not here. My life feels empty and I don't really know where I'm going. And it really felt like a breakup because there's been a severance of her relationship with her old self and her old identity, but she's not yet met her new self in this moment. And of course, our new selves are constantly evolving, but we also get to consciously create those by letting go of old versions of us, which might feel comfortable, secure, or in her case, very exciting and creative compared to her current life, which feels very restricted and there's not a lot of freedom there for her. And so, what I suggested to her was that she had a ceremony to actually grieve and let go of that old version of her, to say goodbye properly, to have a proper breakup conversation, to sit down and either talk to herself or write or journal or dance or write poetry or in some way just honor that old version of her which is now gone, so that she can bring in the new. Because as long as she's carrying that old version of her around, it feels pretty heavy and it feels quite limiting because she's comparing all the time to her old life, which is actually gone. And the really amazing thing about birth, apart from the fact that you've actually created, grown a new human, and brought that human in through your body, and you now are completely equipped to nurture that baby, which blows my mind every time. And I think is completely downplayed and not seen as the sacred act that it is, with the incredible magic that conception and birth is. But the thing is that we're not really recognizing that it's the birth of the mother identity and the death of the maiden. And there's so much grief. There's so much grief involved in that. Energetically, it's a death. And hormonally, there's all sorts going on. Nature is trying to support us, but we're kind of trying to catch up. The body is a chalice for the energy that comes through. So the maiden energy stopped flowing and the mother energy is just being filled up, but it's new and it's unfamiliar and it can feel scary. And so it creates this this difficulty. And I think it's really important to acknowledge that and to not be afraid of that. And for more women to hold ceremonies for each other and to talk about birth and death as two sides of the coin, and that that's okay. So I'm sharing this today because there's an invitation here for you now, if you're listening, for you to create your own ceremony to say goodbye to that maiden version of you. And maybe you're really happy to say goodbye to it, in which case celebrate the hell out of it and bring loads of love to the wisdom that's taken you up to this point where you've been ready to cross over that threshold. But if there's grief, put on some sad songs, create yourself a playlist, dress up in black, whatever it is that gives you that real sense of goodbye and thank you for bringing me to this moment. Oh, it's so powerful to just stand and be present with what is and not to be running from it or avoiding it or making up stories around it. Just meet it where it is. Meet the pain, meet the suffering, meet the fear, and then let it go, because it's not who you are. It's just an energetic imprint of what has been. And we need to integrate that so that we can move forward into the next version of ourselves. So letting go of the maiden is really, really important. And I feel like in other versions of cultures around the world, historically, I don't know this for sure, but I'm just intuitively feel like that this would have happened, that in that 40 days of rest that is so commonly used in postnatal care around the world, that would have been the time of grieving and recovering and resting. And it just doesn't happen. Just doesn't happen here. Everything's just like wham bam, there you go, you're a mother now. Oh, okay. Body, mind, spirit, soul, energy, everything's not quite working on the same time scale as everything else. So just honor that, and don't be afraid to ask for what you need and give yourself what you need. Don't wait for someone else to do it. Claim it for yourself and talk about what it is that you need and have that time and space, because you're important. You are an incredible life creator. You are the divine feminine. You are a mother, and you've been a maiden, and one day you will be an empress in the crown. And so just allow yourself to experience it all, feel it all in your own way, create something that feels good, and then let it go. I'd love to know what you feel about this, if you've had a ceremony yourself, or if you want to create ceremonies for others, which is something that I've been kind of considering myself, or tag and share someone who needs to hear this now, or drop me a line over at blossomandberry.com. I'd love to hear your thoughts.